Hello, and welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Today we have a very, very special guest for the show today. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very, very special guest here for the show today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
I'm Richard Kuhns, and I'm calling from Middletown, New Jersey.
Great, great. And so I wanted to talk about your past leading up into your present, however extensive you want to get.
Sure. Graduated the University of Maryland as a chemical engineer, took a job with DuPont for a few years, got transferred to New Jersey from West Virginia, and then I took a job in New York City working with chemical construction company, designing natural gas plants in Algeria and places like that. I was really a quiet, shy, boring kind of guy. I was lucky to have a wife at that time. And unfortunately, she came down with leukemia and passed away. And I thought
I'm sorry to
myself,
hear that.
yeah, it happens. It's a terrible disease. Uh, but I thought that I wanted more in life than being in a cubicle designing chemical plants and things like that. So I opened up my own biofeedback and hypnosis center in Middletown, and over the years, developed several specialties. One specialty is in dealing with people with agoraphobia. Um, there's very little that people know how to do with it other than say relax, but you don't tell a person in the middle of when he thinks he has a heart attack to relax. He just can't do it. Uh, and you don't tell a person who is starting a panic attack to do deep breathing, because that's a worse thing, because they're going to focus on that, then they're going to have a heart attack right in front of you. Well, at least they
Yes.
think they have a heart attack. Uh, but I've learned that actually agoraphobia is a disease of ignorance, and it's simply the parasympathetic nervous system picking up cues, being sensitized, like you go into Kmart. That's history. You go in,
I'm a
you,
part
you know,
of it. I'm a part
you're
of it
part of
too.
that history.
Yeah.
Now we got Target. You go into Target and you got the bright lights and oh, I got to get out of here. And what it is that the brain, the subconscious mind is tuned to perceive anything that is a threat. And there's no real threat there. So it's a matter, agoraphobia is really education to bring the subconscious brain up to date to agree with the conscious mind that, there's no threat here. I can let go. And we use external focus techniques instead of deep breathing, which is an internal focus technique. I also did a lot of hypnosis with emotional eaters. Uh, what do you do when you're frustrated, Kimberly?
Well, when I'm frustrated, I like sometimes get like angry in my house and just talk to God about it, my frustrations.
What? Okay. Do you ever find yourself maybe picking up something to eat?
I always eat.
Oh,
When I'm mad though. When
oh,
I'm mad,
you're gonna be easy. What do you do when you're bored?
I eat, yes.
What do you do when you're frustrated?
I'll like fix some noodles or eggs or something, like
Food,
seriously. Yeah, it
food. Yeah.
is food.
What
That's
do you
why
do
I
when?
asked you that question earlier about me, people that, eat when they're alone, more so than other people.
Right. If you're feeling lonely, like I was telling you, being alone is different than feeling lonely. When you can be alone, you're happy. You have whether you have zero friends or 100 friends, you're happy. You don't have to live up to any expectations. You got your hobbies, you got your interests, you got your job, you got your career. But when you're lonely, the hours pass so slowly, and food is so convenient. That bag of chips is gone before you blink your eyes, and that ice cream, you know, never made it into the freezer. What do you do when you go on vacation and you're happy?
When I'm around other people, I don't eat as much as when I'm like I'm happy. I limit my eating. You know.
Oh, you don't celebrate with food?
Um. Sometimes I do. I have to admit, sometimes I do. If it's a good event or a good day, I will go to a restaurant and celebrate. Yes, that's a
Right.
true fact.
So the bottom line is most of us who have an eating habit and are have a eating problem, we're emotional eaters. And not everybody eats when they're happy. Many people do. You see, for instance, you go on a program like Weight Watchers and you're counting your calories and everything, and you're really meticulous and you're dropping all that weight. And then a vacation comes up and you go on vacation and you blow it. And you're eating like a little piggy. And when you come back, you can't stop. Well, that's emotional eating. You didn't learn how to deal with the emotions. So that was my specialty is a cognitive shift in how we deal with emotions. Say you're driving down the street and you get a flat tire. What do you do about it?
Well, the first thing I would do is call, evaluate the tire and then call 911 because I don't know how to
Okay.
fix a tire.
Right. So you're driving down the street and you get a flat tire. Can you let it be that you got a flat tire?
No, sir.
So if you can let it be, it looks like this. But most of us are not going to let it be. We're going to do something about it. So doing something about it uh, could be, damn it, I'm late for. So you're upset and you're frustrated. And if you can't let it be that you're upset and frustrated, uh, you might get the jack out and be in a hurry and hurt yourself. So the idea is if I'm frustrated, can I let it be? If I can let it be, I'm frustrated. Uh, when you experience something, it's over. And if you haven't truly experienced it, it lingers on and on and on. So
Well said. Yes.
for yes, for many of us, emotions are like a sentence that never ends. The period is the experience. That's over and done. The idea, I think, I don't know if you're familiar or have ever heard of the name Werner Erhard. He had a series of seminar trainings back in the late 70s and 80s. There would be like 400 people, and it was very, very enlightening. But he basically said, whether we like it or not, there's suffering in life. He's in favor of short-term suffering rather than long-term suffering. So we're not going to not be emotional people. The idea is to acknowledge that we have an emotion. Now, do you like to feel angry?
I no. That's a no.
No. So
Never.
we have attitudes about these emotions. Do you like to feel depressed?
No.
Why not?
Because I feel like it's an irrelevant emotion.
It's useless. Who wants to be around? You're like the rotten apple in a barrel, you know? We have these attitudes. There's a book, it's called The Angry Book by a psychiatrist, Theodore Rubin. And it's called The Angry Book. And the whole book is about all the attitudes we have about emotions that we don't, such that we don't allow ourselves to feel them. I shouldn't feel that way. I'm a big person. I should know what I want to do. Now, you can't let people know that you're angry. They'll take advantage of you. All these attitudes keep us from feeling. They're called sealers. And when we lift off the sealers and allow ourselves to feel the emotion, okay, I'm angry, I'm upset, okay, I'm frustrated, and I'd like to let it go. See, what's missing is what to do about it. Our brain is really like a computer. You you tell it what to do and it will comply. But if you don't tell it what to do, you're just going to sit there in this emotion that runs on and on and on and never ends. And it's like you marry somebody and they come to you with a whole coattail of emotions that they bring into the new relationship. So it's acknowledging what stands in the way of feeling emotion. Allow yourself to feel emotion And then what do you want to do? Do you want to forget about it? Do you want to learn from it? Do you want to prosper from it? Do you want to move on? When you tell your brain where you want to go, you can let the emotion and you flat with it. You think of the situation, you're in the situation, and you're flat with it. There's no emotion. Well, anyway, that's how we deal with emotional eating. So if we can't let it be, we have an emotion. If we can't let it be, we have an emotion, we eat. So the idea is to go back. It's like dominoes knocking each other over. So we go back and we keep the domino from falling over and hitting the emotional food. That's the goal.
Okay. And when acknowledging emotions, how do we write them down, and can transference of energy, adding an additional person, can we control that emotion with them?
Well, we won't be ever controlling them, but when you say writing them down, that's a good point. You see, at some point, if you identify your triggers like frustration, aggravation, or anger, you can write an affirmation. Say, "I really like to feel angry." Um, you know, I had a fellow, a person, an individual client, and when I went anger was his problem. And when I shared with him that it's okay to feel it, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to bite you. It's just a vibrational level. It's an energy level. And when you allow yourself to feel it, it doesn't rule you. It's not like if you can imagine strings, like being a puppet, and somebody above you pulling the strings. Whatever contributed. See, nobody can make you feel angry or upset. You choose to feel it in response to what they did. So when you choose to feel angry, it's like you're giving them power over you. So it's like stepping back and saying, okay, I'm angry. I'm giving power to this person. So I'd like to feel angry and let it go. And then write down all the reasons why you won't allow yourself to feel angry. Acknowledge all the sealers that you have. Well, he'll know that I'm giving him control. He'll know that he got to me, or whatever. And then write thank you. The thank you is for your brain. When you thank your brain, it releases its hold upon you. It no longer needs to be right, because now we're talking about ego. Ego is what kills. We'd rather be right, you know, than some people would rather die than be wrong, because that's how powerful ego is.
So tell me, when a person feel angry, you know, and they're talking to somebody while angry, this energy transference transfers them to either feel a slew of emotions, and it can cause by ego a person to either reject, acknowledge, or accept the conversation flow. Don't you agree?
Well, in the middle of a conversation in which you become angry, it's important to learn how to step back, because this could even be from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And by becoming angry in a situation, irrational emotions and so forth, it's really important to go back and look at what the triggers are. And if there is verbal abuse or any physical abuse, and because when you're a youngster, you don't you're not allowed to tell your abusing parent, "Hey, I don't like you. Stop it." You just are subordinate, and you're not allowed to express yourself. So when you grow up in an abusive family, an abusive situation, every muscle, every fiber in your body is holding that energy. And when you become an adult, and you the way somebody even looks at you, or if you feel they are discounting you, because when you're a youngster and you're being abused, you're being totally discounted. You have no value, you have no say. And as an adult, if you pick that up and you haven't dealt with a PST, the anger is out. No, we're not even dealing with the emotions. We're dealing with the PSTD. Now we have a completely different situation than just being angry.
a heightened mood sense, right? A heightened, another heightened or difficult emotion. You talking about PTSD, right?
Right.
Yeah, so all the list of emotions or depressive symptoms such as PTSD or bipolar, have heightened, elevated different types of moods based on their chemistry, right?
Well, yes, as soon as an adult, if you have PTSD, anything that symbolizes what you experienced as a child will bring out irrational anger. You'll be, uh, you know, in relationships, it tears them apart. 2 days later, you don't even 2 days later, you don't even know what you argued about, but totally
Exactly.
irrational. A lot of makeup sex, of course, in those kind of relationships.
Touche. Tell me, did your chemical engineering, did it teach you about emotions or
No,
how to
no.
control? Okay, what did your degree teach you about? I'm interested in that as well.
Well, my degree taught me how to solve problems. So
Okay.
I have solved a lot of problems, which, like for instance, it taught me how to take the answers are out there. It taught me how to take this and this from that and figure out why people have agoraphobia, for instance. I have solved that. I know how to help people go through emotions. I have solved that. And my book, The Scale Conspiracy, is all about that. There are three kinds of eating: habitual, emotional, and self-defeative eating. Habitual is the type that they deal with in what's that program? Weight Watchers. And if you only deal with habitual eating, you can go very well. But as soon as you come into an emotional thing, like take that vacation and you're happy, you blow it, then it's all over. And then some people are afraid of success. That's self-defeat of eating. So uh, they're afraid that they'll be successful. So as long as they're overweight, they can blame it. Say, "Well, I didn't get the raise because I'm overweight." Little Jenny got the raise because she dresses nice and she's cute and pretty, and I'm much bigger. And there's a personality often that goes along with a overweight individual, less confidence as well. There, and that's a whole nother thing. The overweight person generally has less confidence than a person who has achieved their goals and are thinner.
Tell me about agoraphobia. One thing about agoraphobia that, because people like me, I have agoraphobia. So tell me, how can people change, the fear of being around people?
Oh, okay. Well, basically, a fear is an indication that you perceive something as a threat to your being. Now, that could be open spaces. In your case, you say people. So maybe a psychologist would go back in your time and see where that came from and the roots. And I think that would be, probably maybe a little fun, but not very a big waste of money. So when you are in a situation where you begin to now, is it like this, or do you feel the anxiety building gradually?
Well, what happens is I can be on a virtual setting, but I'm breaking myself out gradually. Being in a physical setting around, a lot of people and talk and do my shows. So that I hope that answers your question.
Well, essentially, your intelligence, your subconscious mind perceives a stimulus, which in your case is people, as a threat to your being. Now, you can make yourself wrong and say, "This is stupid. I'm around people I know. I don't, this is dumb. This is stupid," but that gets you nowhere. All right. But the essence is you need to bring, um, it helps to know how to center yourself as well. Say, for instance, if you're sitting there and you think about the amount of tension, that muscular tension that you have in your feet right now, would you say they're totally relaxed at 0 or 10, being as tight as they could be? What would
Right
you think?
now?
right now?
I was just moving my feet because I was listening to you. That's what I do. I sometimes I move around or I scrunch my, go like that because I want to pay attention a lot. So I was just moving around to answer your question.
Well, what level would you say you feel tension in your feet? Are your feet
Probably
tight? 0, 10, 6, 5,
3.
3? Okay. Now, how about your legs? How do your legs feel? Level of tension. I'm going to go a little faster than usual.
Probably like a 3 too.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
How about your torso and your uh, abdomen area?
Like a 4,
Little
maybe.
little more. Okay. How
Yeah.
about your chest area and your back, your upper torso?
I feel a lot of tension between that area sometimes. Sometimes,
Oh,
but not now, because you make me
right.
feel comfortable.
Oh, thank you. So you're down around a 2 or 3 there.
Yeah,
How about your shoulders and arms
about a 0.
and your neck and head?
Probably like a 2 or a 1.
Now, is your breathing slow or is it upper chest? There are two ways of breathing: upper chest and tense, or shoulders down and relaxed.
Could it be both you can breathe from? Because I don't know the way it gets controlled is it depends on the circumstance, how I breathe. If I'm nervous, I breathe through my stomach. If I'm um, just talking, I breathe through my chest and my stomach, you know,
Well, are your shoulders kind of elevated or are they down and relaxed?
down and relaxed.
And your breathing is relaxed.
Correct.
Okay. What about the temperature of your fingers? Put them against your cheeks and tell me if they're cooler or warmer.
They're always cold. I'm anemic.
You're
but but
okay.
but I move my hands around a lot when I'm talking to people or go like this or this, I was just telling them that yesterday.
So what we did was a centering exercise. Now, if a person is higher level, like you were 3, that's pretty good. If you were up about 7 or 8, then we'd go back again. And if your breathing was tense, we'd say, okay, adjust to a deeper pattern of breathing. Breathe from your stomach. And then we go back again. And the next time we go back would be a little bit lower. Now, in a situation where you're with people and you're noticing the reaction, you do the similar thing. You check out, oh, I'm tense. My legs are tense. My arms are tense. My breathing is tense. My hands are colder than usual. That means my brain is perceiving these people as a threat to my being. That's what it means. That's all it means. Now, is there anybody here? Your brain, you're there's not no eyes in the back of your head. So literally, you need to turn around and just assure yourself. Assure your. It sounds kind of silly, but this is what you. There's nobody here that's a threat to my being. I can let go. I can let go, and constantly bringing that up to date, even if it's every minute in the beginning. There's nobody here. I can let go. I can relax and shift to a deeper pattern of breathing. And that's the way we deal with bringing the brain up to date and how we deal with agoraphobia.
What's
Constantly,
what's your
there's no,
story? What's your story behind this whole thing? How did it trigger to you the day or night that you wanted to do something to help so many?
well, I started my practice in biofeedback and I worked with a couple of people. Actually, I worked in the World Trade Center for a while with a group of doctors there, and they would give me people suffering from anxiety and panic attacks, and I got nowhere with them. And I started my own facility and in New Jersey, and I got nowhere with them. I hired a therapist, a psychotherapist, to work with them, and she didn't get well very far with them either. But it was more of a friendly relationship. They had somebody they could talk to or whatever, and she was holding their hands. And then one Saturday, a lady came in and she had read a story in the newspaper about our center, and she demanded to work with me with biofeedback. I didn't want to work with her. I knew nothing about do it, but she demanded. So right there in the first session, start doing my regular stuff and relaxation, and she has a panic attack. And I'm thinking, holy. So that scared the heck out of me. But she didn't want to give up. Uh, so I she actually employed me to come to her house, which is like 30 minutes away, and work with her. And as I got to know her, because what triggers the what triggers the reaction, the stress response. And she shared with me that she was originally from New Jersey, had a great relationship with her mother and her sister, and moved to Florida with her husband for a better job. And she didn't really want to go, but she went anyway. And she had a son. And then she had just come back, and she thought that everything would be the way it was, that she would pick up her relationship with her sister and her mother, and they were all that camaraderie and all that friendship, and her husband would have a better job, and nothing worked out. Everything was disappointing. Her sister had, not, and the family had grown apart, and her son was in trouble, and her whole life was disappointing. She was at the point, and you hear this constantly with people with panic anxiety attacks. I wish I could just go to Hawaii and get away from it all, escape. That's the fight. I mean, that's the flee response. That's the flee response. So typically, people who are dealing with agoraphobia, my experience has been they have had quite a bit of disappointments. They can fill up a page of disappointments that have come their way in their life that haven't worked out.
Thank you. We're running out of time, so where do you see yourself going? You got 30 seconds. Where do you see yourself going for the future with your business, with biofeedback business?
Well, actually, I've retired from that, and I rarely work with clients. And for information, I'm glad to share it. I can have telephone conversations with people, but I've moved away from that into helping people with Morgellons disease, which perhaps we can talk about another time if you'd like to have me back.
Oh yeah, I would.
Hmm.
How would the people reach you?
Uh, they can reach me at website www.d as in dog, the word stress, stress, d as in doctor, o as in out, c as in cat.com, dstress.com is a website I have. Also, another website is self-esteemcure.com. I have another book that's very interesting, and that's about self-esteem. The title is called My Dog Got Run Over by a Rainbow.
How did they reach the rainbow? I like that. Is
It's
it a
on
metaphor?
Amazon. What's
Is
that?
is it like a metaphor or something? Like
Uh,
where the
it,
dog is something real other than the rainbow, the dog actually meeting the rainbow. Did that really happen in the book?
well, my dog Smokey got run over by a car, and I didn't know how to hurt, and I blamed God, and it took me years to get over it. And if I knew how to hurt, I could have gotten over it and saw the rainbows of life. So
Well said.
when we're stuck in hurt, we don't see the rainbows.
Well said. Stay on the line. Thank you everybody for joining my show. Take care, be safe, and I'll see y'all another time. Bye.